3. Safety and first aid. Let's learn about safety measures, safety rules for fire, first aid. Radhika, do you follow the safety rules? Yes, I do. I think everyone should follow these as they are good citizens of their country. We should never forget that accidents can happen anywhere at school, home, park, on road, etc. Accidents happen when we are not careful. We should always be careful. We should try to avoid accidents. Following safety rules can prevent accidents. Come and let us read about some safety rules. Safety measures. Read and follow the safety measures given below. Always use zebra crossing while crossing the road. We should always stand in a queue at the bus stop. We should always walk on the footpath. We should not get in or out of a moving bus. We should not disturb the bus driver while he is driving the bus. We should not lean out of the moving bus. We should not jump on the desks. Do not quarrel in the playground. We should not play with rough games and hurt ourselves. Do not throw things at one another. We should not play or run on the stairs. We should not play with sharp objects like blades and knives. We should not play with fire or matchbox. Safety rules for fire. Fire is useful, but at the same time very dangerous if it gets out of control. Thousands of deaths are caused due to burns. Therefore, it should be handled with great care. Most fire in homes is generally caused while using faulty electrical gadgets and switches. Most of these accidents are caused due to carelessness. How to prevent a fire? We can take these measures to prevent fire. 1. All electrical gadgets should be checked from time to time. 2. Children should not be allowed to handle anything that is hot or electric gadgets like iron, toasters, oven, etc. 3. While cooking, adults must be very careful. They should wear tight fitting clothes and avoid wearing synthetic clothes as they catch fire easily. 4. Gas should be switched off when not in use and the tube should be checked regularly for leakage. 5. Lighting of firecrackers by children should be done under adult supervision. First aid. Do you really know that what should you do if an accident happens? The injured person needs to be given medical aid before doctor's arrival. The immediate help given to an injured person before the doctor arrives is called first aid. It is very essential and can save the life of the injured person. We should use first aid with clean hands, otherwise, it may cause infections. First aid is different for different kinds of injuries. Let us know how to give first aid in different types of accidents. How to treat minor cuts. If someone gets minor cut, first clean wound with small pads of cotton soaked in Dettol or Savlon. Second, cover the wound with clean cotton dressing to stop bleeding. How to treat deep cut. If someone gets deep cut, it is important to stop bleeding. First, wash the wound with water. Second, press over the wound with a thick pad of sterile gauze. If the bleeding does not stop, use a tight bandage called tourniquet. How to stop nose bleeding? During summer, bleeding from the nose is very common problem with children. Follow these steps to give first aid in case of nose bleeding. Make the patient to sit on a chair comfortably. Tilt his head back and ask him to keep his arms folded above the head. Prepare an ice pack. An ice pack on the patient's nose will reduce bleeding. Ask the patient to breathe through his mouth. Do not allow him to blow his nose. First aid for fracture. A fracture is a broken bone. It can range from a thin crack to a complete break. The fractured bone causes a lot of pain. The affected area may swell up and it will not be able to move. Follow these steps for first aid in case of fracture. The person with fractured bone should not be moved. The patient should be made calm and comfortable and then call the doctor immediately. Tie a splint to give support to the broken bone. The fractured arm can be supported by a sling. Sling is a piece of cloth tied around the neck to support the fractured arm. How to treat a sprain? Sprain is the twisting and swelling up of joints, such as the ankle get twisted and swell up. Then tissues around the twisted joint are damaged. This causes pain. For first aid, a cold ice pack should be used. Rub over the ointment on the sprained joint 2 or 3 times a day. Wrap the crepe bandage around the sprained joint after rubbing the ointment. Burns. First aid. Burns can be caused by chemicals or fire. In case of burn, at first wash affected area with cold water. Now apply Boronol and place clean cloth on it to prevent from infection. If burn is severe, take the victim to doctor immediately. Animals bites. Animal bite can be very dangerous. The saliva of animals such as dogs, cats, monkey, wolves, and jackals have viruses. The viruses enter the victim's body through the animal's saliva. When these animals bite someone, they cause rabies to the victim. So, it is very important to treat animal bites immediately. First, clean the wound with soap and water. This will wash up the saliva. Then take the victim to the doctor immediately. The doctor may give anti-rabies injections. Snakes like cobra or krait, when bite someone, they inject poison into the victim's body. This poison travel through the blood and affect the heart and brain. This can be fatal too. If a snake bites, you should take following measures. To stop the flow of blood to the heart and brain, apply a tight bandage just above the bite. Keep the victim unmoved. Any kind of movement will cause the poison to spread faster in the victim's body. The victim should be immediately taken to doctor. Fire safety tips. Fires can be very dangerous and destructive. To prevent fires, these simple safety rules should be followed. We should never play with matchsticks, flames, and candles. Always store petrol and kerosene oil in airtight cans. Keep them away from fires. We should not wear synthetic clothes while we are working in the kitchen. Always wear cotton clothes only. Make sure that the gas stove is switched off when not in use. If the clothes of a person catch fire, cover him with a blanket or thick cloth to put off the fire. Now let us see how can we put out fire. Fire extinguishers are devices to put out fires. They contain carbon dioxide, CO2 gas or foam. The gas or foam surrounds the fire and puts it off by cutting off the air supply. For fire, due to petrol or kerosene oil, throw sand to cut off the air supply to the fire. Water should never be used in this case. The fire will then spread faster. For electric fire, switch off the electricity immediately. Throw sand on the fire. Don't throw water over a fire caused by electricity. Water is good conductor of electricity and you may get an electric shock. Poisoning. A poison is a very dangerous substance. A person can lose his life. In case of poisoning, try to make the victim vomit. Give the first aid quickly. Rush the victim to a doctor. Words to remember. Electrical gadgets. Specialized electronic devices that require a form of electric power to operate. Saliva. Watery liquid secreted into the mouth by glands. Brush up. Accidents can happen when we not careful. So, we should always be careful. We should always follow the safety rules to remain safe at every place. The immediate help given to an injured person before the doctor arrives is called first aid. We should not wear the synthetic clothes while we are working in the kitchen. Life skills. On the road, we find heavy traffic with speeding rows of cars. Therefore, it is important for you to know the basic traffic signs. Right hand curve, left hand curve, cycle crossing, cycle prohibited, destination direction sign, horn prohibited, hospital, narrow road ahead, narrow bridge, no entry, no parking, no stopping, petrol pump, school, strip ascent, stop, U-turn prohibited, advanced direction sign,